So here's a quick update from yesterday before we get into the carrots. The watermelon are happy that are in the cups, but I'm not so sure about the French melons and the peppers. They look a little bit frosty and over wet. My poblano is definitely a goner. Looks like some of my tomatoes are doing okay. The pumpkins and the cauliflower are happy though. Good morning. This is how to thin your carrots. It's really kind of wet and crummy out. It's been raining since yesterday. So I decided to move my bucket of carrots to the front porch because it's covered and has dry chairs. I wish I could say it was a quieter, more serene place to pull my carrots, but it's not. Anyhow, here's how to thin your carrots. So you can see here, when I begin to thin the carrots, I'm trying to find ones that are clumped close together. And what I do is I pull them straight up in order to get as much of the carrot root system out as I can. You don't want to crowd your carrots. That's the whole point in thinning your carrots, is to give the ones that you allow to grow the most room as you possibly can. A lot of seed packets will tell you how far you should space your carrots to give them the best amount of growth. As you can see, I can't grab all of the root system all of the time. But as long as you get the leaf, the green part, and some of the root system, the seedlings you pull will stop growing. But back to the seed packets. Seed packets will instruct you on what the best spacing is. You want to make sure you give yourself as much room as you can for your carrots to fully develop. So here's some of the carrot seedlings that I've pulled. You can see it's a nice handful. Here's my bucket. Looking a little more roomy. Okay, so I moved to the back porch where it's a little less loud. My neighbors are doing some heavy-duty landscaping. So a lot of people have suggested that you cut the greens off the carrots to get them to stop growing, so you don't disturb the root system. I've never tried that. I find it much easier just to pull out some of the carrots like you're plucking your eyebrows. You want to make sure that the carrots have a decent amount of space between them so they can grow. It's tempting to over thin them, and it's also very tempting to just let them go. The carrots will grow. They won't necessarily be as large or long as they would be if you didn't thin them. It's a similar situation for when you're thinning radishes or any other root vegetable. One of the joys about growing carrots and root vegetables is the surprise you get when you pull them out when they're done. So I'm hoping growing them in a bucket, because we have such a rocky soil here in Syracuse, means we'll have nice, relatively straight carrots. Weird shaped carrots don't mean you can't eat them. It just means that there is something blocking their growth. Because you can see behind me, we live in a very hilly and rocky area. Root vegetables that grow deep like carrots, especially in an area in the city where there's been previous buildings. There used to be a creek that ran through the yard. That sort of established stonework or foundation will hinder the carrot growth, which is why I put them in a 5-gallon bucket. If you want to send me 5-gallon buckets, I could use a bunch of them. My husband loves 5-gallon buckets, but he doesn't want to share. So what I did was I drilled a couple holes for drainage in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket. And then I put some rocks in there to sort of prevent the soil from leaking through the container. And then I used seed starter for the soil. I didn't want to use potting soil because it can be too heavy for carrots to start in. And you want your carrots to have a much easier time growing if you want them to get to their largest potential. So I'm just leaving the seed starter in the bucket, and we're gonna see how they do. I'll include a couple pictures of me putting holes in the bucket if you want. Anyhow, I think that's about it. So here's my 5-gallon bucket before I drilled the holes. Apparently, I deleted the video of me actually drilling holes into the bucket. Here's my bucket filled with seed start. Not sure why I kept this, but got rid of the video I made. Sometimes I wonder what I'm thinking. Here is the seed packet for my Danvers carrots. If I was smart, I would have taken a picture of the back so you could see what the instructions are for spacing. They look like they will be great carrots once they grow. I love buying carrots. I love buying seeds from Seed Savers. It's a great company, and I've never had anything but great luck with their seeds.